A mystery video featuring a pile of blinking disembodied heads, a ghostly figure lurking in a doorway, and a guy who may or may not be mid-skinwalker transformation. These are unknown disturbing creatures caught on camera. This first video looks like a literal nightmare caught on camera. It's just so surreal and weird. Nobody really knows where it came from either. The original clip was posted on TikTok by an account called Horror World 29, but that account is long gone now. Some people think it might be from an old Japanese horror movie, but no one's been able to track it down, again, if it's even actually from one. So in the video, you've got this little girl wearing a mask, just playing around in an apartment, nothing too weird yet. Then her mom walks in, and you'll notice her face is completely pixelated, like someone intentionally blurred out her features. The camera then pans over to an open closet, and inside there's this pile of what looks like disembodied heads, just stacked on top of each other, pale and I would say lifeless, except one of them blinks. I bet you weren't expecting to see disembodied blinking heads in a closet when you clicked on a video about disturbing creatures, but here we are. I'm full of surprises. Alright, so this guy named Cody starts noticing weird stuff happening in his house. Lights flickering, water running for no reason, so like any sane person would, he whips out his phone and decides to document it. He peeks into the bathroom and sure enough, the sink is on by itself. Then out of nowhere, a door behind him slams shut. At this point, he's understandably freaked out and bolts outside. He calls his girlfriend, who's basically like, yeah, maybe don't go back inside, which fair. Either there's a ghost or someone is just in there messing with him, and neither of those options are great. But Cody decides to go back in and keep filming. That's when he finds his place is just trash now. There's chairs knocked over, cupboards flung open. That's enough ghost nonsense for one day, so he nopes out of there again. But a couple hours later, he goes back in, checks every single room, and finds nothing. Until later when he's reviewing the footage, and that's when he spots something he definitely did not see in real time. As he pans past his daughter's doorway, there's this creepy pale face staring down from the top corner, and it does not look human. Now, most ghost videos are pretty vague and blurry, bad lighting, a smudge on the lens, whatever, but this is nightmare fuel, and I have a hard time imagining that ghoulish looking face is some misidentified, innocuous thing of some kind, unless of course this is just an outright hoax. This next clip is very unsettling. Let's just call it Rabies, maybe? So here we see this guy crouched on the ground, mouth wide open, making this weird, almost animal-like noise. He's not yelling, he's growling. It's clear that something is seriously wrong with this guy. You can hear a couple of other guys in the background shouting at him. I'm not sure what the language, but probably telling him to like back off or calm down. Now, aside from how immediately strange this whole scene is, you'll also notice that this dude's eyes are glowing, like full-on reflective animal eye shine. Yeah, humans aren't supposed to do that. Plenty of animals have the effect when light hits their eyes in the dark, but people, not so much. Naturally, the internet ran wild with this one. A lot of people saying it's proof of a skinwalker mid-transformation. More realistically, the guy could just be on something really bad, and if he actually has rabies, that's pretty much a death sentence when symptoms show up, so I hope that wasn't the case. As for the glowing eyes, I don't know. A weird camera glitch, or maybe this whole thing is staged, or he's just actually some kind of weird creature. I don't know. It's just an unsettling clip. In an attempt to keep this list as varied as possible, I'm going to talk about a haunted doll next. Can you call a haunted doll a creature? I don't know, but would you really care if you encountered one, or would you just freak out either way? I know my life would never be the same. Anyway, this video kicks off with a babysitter who's already getting weird vibes while spending the night at this person's house. She's poking around and comes across this massive doll in the corner, facing the wall like it's playing hide and seek. Creepy, but alright. Then she notices something stranger. There's a little set of bells sitting in its pocket. Keep that in mind. Then she finds another doll, same deal. Hands over its eyes, turned toward the wall, bells in the pocket. And at this point, she's weirded out, but also kinda amused. So she decides to play along and mimic one of the dolls, covering her own eyes and facing the wall. And this is is where things take a turn. If you look real closely in the mirror's reflection, something moves. A small dark figure walks by. A little later on, she notices that the lights are flickering a bit. At this point, she's still laughing things off. Keep in mind, she hasn't actually seen anything out of the ordinary yet. She didn't see the shadow moving across the mirror until she looked at the footage later, but at this point she hears something, the faint sound of a bell chiming. She pans the camera around, and if you're paying close attention, you can spot something slipping out of the room. Now she's officially done, and she's about to leave when this happens.
Okay, I think I'm just gonna get him and go because it's really freaking me out.
Next on the list, we have what I'm going to call the nighttime Bigfoot. I'm not 100% sold on this next clip, but I don't know, it's pretty harrowing at the same time. Check this one out. So you have people filming in the woods in the middle of the night. They've obviously heard something because they're scanning the woods with the camera, trying to spot whatever it is, and then this pops out. A big, hairy Sasquatch creature with a really creepy face. That is just, ooh. One little touch I like about this video is that you actually see it blink. Definitely makes it more convincing. I feel like if I saw this, I just wouldn't be sticking around though. After the creature trudges back into the trees, they kind of just stand there breathing heavily. But, I mean, they could have also just been in shock, frozen in fear or something. Anyway, next we're looking at a video taken by a group of bikers of someone or something walking down a desolate road at night. This video was taken in Jharkhand, India, and though the footage is grainy, it does appear as if there's this pale, incredibly thin, alien-looking creature walking along the side of the road. It's sort of hard to make out, but I do agree that it looks decidedly alien. It doesn't look normal, that's for sure. It appears to have no hair, walks in this unnatural gait, and at first I thought I spotted these big glowing eyes on its head, but then it turns around, revealing that whatever the glowing eye-looking things were are actually on the back of its head. So I don't know, but this one is strange. So strange, it even showed up on an Indian news station. So what's going on here? Is this an alien? Some sort of other creature? Or was some lone, malnourished, naked person just walking down the road in the middle of the night? If you like finding new trails to hike deep in the woods, well, according to this man, you may want to avoid this trail in Broken Straw State Forest in Panama, New York. This video was uploaded to the YouTube channel Eek Acres, an outdoors themed channel. Now, this guy's hiked tons of trails over the states, but he described this one as the creepiest trail he's ever been on. It just didn't feel right. He and his wife had just started their hike when they heard a noise. Now, he said at the time that the noise was a creaking tree. He later realized it was the wails of a baby deer, which is even scarier knowing what comes next. So just moments after hearing this high-pitched wailing, the couple hear this deep, rumbling growl coming from the bush.
What the hell is that?
Now, that may have been a bit hard to hear. I think the frequency is just so low it doesn't pick up very well on camera, but the couple heard it very clearly, saying it filled the whole forest. In all their years of hiking remote trails, they'd never heard anything like this. So they did the smart thing and decided to get the hell out of there. Whatever this thing was, it was big, and it may have just finished eviscerating a deer. Alright, next up we've got a supposed skinwalker sighting that was posted to Reddit by user 123, and I gotta say, if this is fake, they put some serious effort into it because whatever this thing is, it looks wrong, but very realistic at the same time. So the footage is dark and grainy, but you can make out this creepy, hunched over figure lurking in someone's backyard. It's a freaky looking thing, doesn't look like any animal I've ever seen. Actually, its face kind of looks like General Grievous from Star Wars, but honestly, it's hard to even tell where its face ends and its body begins. Could it be a moose with mange? That's what I thought as well, but then no, because the thing stands up and you realize it's this massive hairy bipedal creature. This footage was uploaded to the YouTube channel Jimmy B Trail Cams and shows what looks to be a large hairy creature walking across the screen through the trees. Jimmy B uploads all kinds of trail cam videos in Birch Bay, Washington. There are videos of foxes, wolves, hawks, owls, and whatever this thing is. And that's kind of what helps sell this one for me. This isn't someone who seems to be a Bigfoot enthusiast. He just seems to have a passion for wildlife in general. Probably wasn't even trying to capture something mysterious curious like this, but he just happened to. The footage isn't super clear, but compared to most Bigfoot videos, this is like a Stanley Kubrick film. You see that the creature moves with that classic Bigfoot gait, to its arms hanging at its sides, and it seems to have a pretty long stride. Jimmy B also posted an update after uploading this footage, saying that 4 of his 8 trail cameras were missing the day after he took the video. And finally, we have I Think I Saw a Skunk Ape. Help. This video was posted to YouTube by Josh Highcliffe and is probably one of the most convincing Bigfoot, or in this case technically Skunk Ape, pieces of footage in recent years. The video was taken about 9 miles west of Tunica, Mississippi at around 6 p.m. in October of 2013. Josh had been hunting for hogs when he spotted this creature. He'd been sitting on a log waiting for the sun to go down when he heard strange noises coming from behind him, and when he turned around, he spotted this large, dark, furry creature digging out the stump of a tree. Now, I gotta say, I do try to be skeptical when it comes to things like this, cryptids, ghosts, whatever, but this video is pretty convincing. That looks like an animal messing around in the forest to me. Creepiest part is when the thing stands up and you see it's way taller than you think. Getting a full view, he realized this thing was not a bear, at least it didn't look like one, so he decided to get the hell out of there. With all that said, I'm gonna get the hell out of here. I've been your host James, and I'll catch you, yes you specifically, in the next video.